Welcome to Moments with Marianne. This is your host, Marianne Pastana, and we're here today with special guest, Donald Fountain, who's here to share with us his new book, Defect Safety, a primer for lawyers to identify defective products and promote consumer safety through litigation. Trial attorney Donald Fountain has reshaped consumer safety standards through landmark product defect litigation as founding partner at Clark, Fountain, Litkey, Rubin, and Whitman. Over his 37-year career, he has secured numerous multi-million-dollar verdicts that have led to industry-wide safety reforms and product recalls. His landmark case, Batchelor versus Malibu Boats, resulted in an unprecedented $200 million verdict and the company's public acknowledgement of safety defects affecting 25 years of boat production. A recognized leader in automotive and consumer product safety, Fountain played a key role in litigation that led the largest tire recall in U.S. history. His work has helped establish new safety standards across multiple industries while advocating for consumer protection through the court system. So welcome to the show, Donald Fountain.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate the invite.
Well, it's such an honor to have you here, and I cannot wait to dive into this book. Your new book, Defect Safety, reveals how manufacturers really prioritize profits over safety testing. What should shoppers understand about product safety standards?
The public should understand that not every single product they use every day is subjected to a rigorous hazard analysis and set of safety rules. That just doesn't exist for a lot of the products that we use. The public also needs to know that there's no government agency sitting around that's testing every single product before it's introduced into the stream of commerce and ends up on the shelves or the internet for us to buy. So because of that reality, there are a lot of products that end up in our homes and our businesses that have defects and safety concerns. How do we know that? We see recalls day after day, hundreds of them, thousands of them. So defective products are getting out into the consumer. It's important for the consumer to be vigilant, that if they see a defect or suspect a defect, that they say something and report it, because that becomes the genesis of the safety matrix in this country and the origin of every recall that we receive.
So is it that people just are unaware of where to go to make these reports?
Yes, the general public does not typically know what to do when they find a defect. And that's where I want to help. And the public should, number one, go directly to the internet and go to saferproducts.gov, not .com, .gov. For motor vehicles, for tires, motor vehicle component parts, safercar.gov. And that is the Consumer Product Safety Commission and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, agencies of our federal government. And those are the agencies that are tasked with making sure that safety-related issues and defects and recalls are exposed to the public. As of January 26th of 2025, just a few days ago, there's another new important place for consumers to report defects, and that is to Amazon. The Consumer Product Safety Commission litigated with Amazon for about 4 years and ultimately determined that Amazon is a legal distributor. And so now they have an obligation to participate in the safety process, including safety recalls and safety notifications to consumers. 3 important places to report defects: saferproducts.gov, Amazon, and then, of course, directly to the manufacturer. But because so many products are sold overseas, how do you find the Chinese manufacturer of your, battery charger, or the manufacturer of your power tool from India? You still want to do it, but go directly to saferproducts.gov. That's the best place to start.
So what made you decide to focus your career on product defect cases?
I ended up doing product defect work purely by accident. I was just asked to do a case when I had been doing traditional, what are called personal injury cases, car crashes, that type of thing. And I have always had a mechanical mind. I've always been interested in how things are put together and come apart and break and how they can be made better. And so when I handled this very first case, I just really took a liking to it. And ever since then, the first case nearly 30 years ago, I've been doing primarily product defect litigation of all different kinds of products.
Well, I found your career to be so fascinating because you have some landmark cases.
I've been very fortunate. I have had some cases that have changed safety in this country. And I don't claim to be the sole change catalyst for safety, but it's important for the public to know that civil litigation does play a large role in product safety. One case where one defect is determined can affect an entire industry and related industries as well.
Well, thank goodness for people like you. I mean, after 37 years of exposing dangerous products, what red flags should families watch for when purchasing items online?
When you're purchasing things online, what you want to do is you want to purchase them from a reputable seller. There's all sorts of things that are available online, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, and it's better to stick with mainstream suppliers to buy your goods from. The reason for that is that anybody that sells products in the United States has an obligation under the law that if they detect a defect or a safety concern to report it within 24 hours, believe it or not, to the Consumer Product Safety Commission. Reputable, established retailers have a higher likelihood of doing that. You start dealing with people that are shipping products from India or China, maybe not so much. So I would stick with mainstream retailers and distributors.
What if someone suspects that they've purchased an unsafe product? What steps should they take?
The first thing they should do is they should make sure that product is separated, put somewhere where no one is going to be injured by it. A lot of people will say this is a defective product and they throw it away. Don't do that. Keep it. Take photographs of it. Keep the paperwork, the boxes, the instructions that came with it, all the pieces and parts. And then go directly to saferproducts.gov and report it. If it happens to be a motor vehicle component, safercar.gov. Because by doing that, you may be the first person that starts what ends up being a national recall. And by just doing that simple act, you could stop or prevent somebody from being hurt or even killed. There are many instances where all of the major recalls in this country have happened just because Bob in Colorado or Mary in New Jersey said something. That's what needs to be done. If you see something defective, make sure you don't keep it to yourself and let the authorities know.
Well, on that note, we're going to pause here for a quick break. We've been speaking with Don Fountain in regards to his new book, Defect Safety. You've been listening to Moments with Mary Ann. We'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors.
Are you an author, speaker, or expert who is looking for more publicity? Visit radioguestlist.com and sign up for free interview requests from shows looking for guests. Radio Guest List is the #1 free booking resource for radio, podcasts, and TV talk shows who are looking for experts like you right now. Visit radioguestlist.com and sign up today to get the visibility you deserve.
There comes a moment when you realize you're somewhere special. When you discover that each beautiful creature that you see has been rescued from a life of absolute horror and brought to this incredibly free place. Here's where their lives were forever changed and where yours will as well. Discover over 500 tigers, bears, and lions at the brand new visitor center at the Wild Animal Sanctuary just outside Denver. For more information, visit wildanimalsanctuary.org. Discover true freedom at the Wild Animal Sanctuary.
It's one thing to become attached to your perfect home, but what do you do when that home becomes attached to you? A family in dire need of a fresh start, a mysterious house tied to the past. Buried deep within the foundation of the old Far Hill Manor lies a centuries-old secret. Dark forces or something stronger just waiting to be discovered. Caretaker, a supernatural thriller by breakout authors R.J. Halpert.
Internationally recognized and award-winning author Judy Goodman works and teaches outside the box of limited thinking. Working with people from every walk of life, her goal is to empower you to be the best you can be, no matter what the challenge is. Born with the gift of seeing beyond our normal vision, she has an extraordinary gift of working with every challenge. Teaching beyond conventional wisdom, her work is described as life-changing. Visit judygoodman.com. That's judygoodman.com.
I'd like to thank Jason Eastwood at Guitarfulness for sharing his inspiring music and talent with us. His music is known worldwide for cultivating atmospheres of harmony, inner peace, and clarity. Visit Jason's website at guitarfulness.com. Join his newsletter, be part of his community, and download his music. Welcome back to Moments with Mary Ann. We're here today with special guest, Don Fountain, in regards to his new book, Defect Safety. With that new change with Amazon, I mean, my goodness, they sell millions of products daily. How is this significant for the average consumer?
The Amazon ruling, in my mind, is tremendous. Amazon last year sold over $600 billion worth of goods. The largest company, one of the largest companies in the entire world. And the unique thing about Amazon is that for years, Amazon took the position that they were just a delivery service. They were like the post office or like FedEx. They only delivered products. They didn't really distribute them. And that's a key significant difference, because under the law, a distributor has a legal obligation to participate in the safety process. They have to report safety defects. They need to recall products. And the Consumer Product Safety Commission litigated against Amazon for 4 years, ultimately finding that, yes, they are a distributor and they are part of the safety process. This is significant because Amazon has tremendous systems. You know, if you're getting low on shampoo or toothpaste, Amazon will send you a note. Hey, we found something you might like. You might need some more toothpaste. So I'm hopeful that those systems and the sophisticated network that they have is going to be also applied to the safety process as well. If you go right now to Google and you type in Amazon recall and safety alerts, it'll take you directly to their recall and safety alert page. And you can check to see if anything that you have purchased from January 2024 up till present has been recalled or has a safety related issue. They don't have data yet for before 2024 because that's when the Consumer Product Safety Commission rule became effective. But Amazon does have a listing of all the products that they sell that have been recalled or have safety related issues. So you can research those on their website to determine if anything is problematic.
Do they still sell recalled items or no?
That's the thing. Under the rule, if a recalled item has been recalled, there's certain obligations that Amazon has, which include stop selling them, to notify the consumers that have them, to refund the money. This is very, very big because before this ruling, and actually before years ago, I don't know if you remember the Firestone tire recall, companies could know about defects in products and not say anything. They could just keep on selling them and kind of keep it to themselves. You know, Congress did away with that with the Tread Act after the Firestone recall years ago. And so now there is an obligation, which is very important. If there's a problem and there's a defect, you must act quickly and get the product off the market. And that's key because the longer a defective product stays in the marketplace, the greater exposure there is to the public to be injured.
That's good information to know. You know, based off of your experience with major recalls, what typically happens after a company is ordered to notify consumers about dangerous products?
So there's a very clear path in the law about what's supposed to happen when a defect is suspected. And the Consumer Product Safety Commission calls it the fast track recall program. Of course, the goal is to quickly identify a defect and address it so that less people are exposed to it. And the rule is that if you find a defect, you're required to notify the Consumer Product Safety Commission within 24 hours. Now, they do allow an investigation period, and investigation periods are supposed to be limited to 10 days. And what we've seen happen when we get into actual cases is, okay, a company had a problem, somebody got injured or killed. and they begin looking into it. They don't really think it's a defect yet, but they're going to investigate it. And it's going to take a few months, a few weeks, sometimes years before they make a decision. And meanwhile, those products are being sold and used. That's the part that aggravates me the most, is that once a defect is detected, that it's slow to action to make sure it's removed from the market. So that is something the Consumer Product Safety Commission is trying very hard to eliminate through this fast track program.
What is like the deciding factor for you? And I'm sure there are probably many, but like one deciding factor in accepting a case or not?
There's so many factors. We're getting into legal now. One of the most important factors in any case is the client. You want to have clients who are presentable to a jury, who have done as much right or everything right if possible, and are really free of any fault. It's one thing to have a product that's defective, but it injures somebody who's been drinking or is under the influence or has used drugs or has grossly misused it. So we're always looking for how the consumer interacts with the product to decide if it's a viable case or not. That's probably the most important factor.
Well, you've won numerous verdicts forcing companies to make their products safer. What bothers you the most about companies currently handling their product safety issues?
We do a lot of cases, and the vast majority of the cases settle. And whenever a company settles a case with us, they want it to be strictly confidential. They don't want anybody to know about it. Why? Because they want to kind of keep this from spreading. And it's smart business because you don't want to have any publication or press on a significant settlement involving a defective product. It could hurt your sales. So I understand that from the company's standpoint. Of course, our clients, they don't care whether it's confidential or not. They just need the money in order to survive. So that part bothers me a little bit. That concern goes away when there's a verdict, because everything that happens in the court is public record. And so when we're fortunate enough to have a case go to a trial and have the jury determine there's a defect, that has far wide-ranging impact. And this is something that I talk about a little bit in our book, Defect Safety, where the import of members of the public sitting for days or weeks and hearing evidence, contrary evidence. One side says defect, one side says it's not. And then determining that a product is defective sends a very loud and clear message to the industry. And not only just to the industry, but also to related industries and competitors. And so the jury's decision in a given case is extremely powerful. And we talk about that in the book, and we see and show how that happens. And it's important for the public to know that these claims that are brought, they don't just benefit the families that are affected directly, but they affect and benefit all of us because they advance the safety ball.
Such a powerful book. Well, Don, where can our readers and listeners connect with you and be part of your community and learn more about Defect Safety?
Defect Safety is on Amazon. Coincidentally, we've been talking a lot about Amazon today. And there's a link there for it. And also my firm's website. My firm is Clark Fountain, Litkey, Rubin, and Whitman in West Palm Beach, Florida. There's a link there as well, and lots of information about it. I've done a number of interviews about the book and about Amazon recently. Those are linked on our website as well. And the Amazon thing, I really can't underscore how unique and important that is in today's market. We are truly a global economy, and things are coming from every single corner of the world every day. And we're now in an environment where we have potential tariffs on things. And in my mind, the question is, okay, are some safety steps going to be skipped because there's more money for tariffs? Are we going to try to cut back to keep the bottom line intact? And I do have some concerns about that. But the best place to go is directly to my firm's website, Clark Fountain.
Do you look into and accept cases outside of the Florida area?
Yes, we do cases all over the country. I think we've done cases in 36 different states so far. We resolved a case in Alaska in the last couple of months. I have one going in Maine right now. So we do cases literally all over the country.
Well, Don, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show with us here today.
I appreciate it. And thank you for your time as well.
Well, thank you, Dawn. It's been such an honor to spend this time with you and to talk about your new book, Defect Safety. Make sure to visit his website, clarkfountain.com, to learn more about his work and, of course, his book. Well, we're at the end of our time today. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. You've been listening to Moments with Mary Ann, where we make every moment count.
In a single moment, your life can change. Moments with Mary Ann is a transformative hour that covers an endless array of topics with the best of the best. Her guests are leaders in their fields, ranging from inspirational authors, top industry leaders, and business and spiritual entrepreneurs. Each guest is gifted and a true visionary, a recognized leader in her own work, and while teaching others to develop, refocus, and grow, Mary Ann will bring the best guest and sometimes a special surprise. Don't miss this. You never know just which moment will change your life forever. Make sure to tune in and visit momentswithmaryann.com for more information.